Phrasal verbs are a combination of a core verb and a verbal particle. A verbal particle is part of a verb. It is not a preposition or an adverb. Off is a common verbal particle. But what is off contributing to a phrasal verb? How is the verbal particle off different from the preposition off? Verbal particles are based on prepositions and adverbs, but they aren't the same. We have to start with the meanings of prepositions and adverbs to understand the meanings of verbal particles. The preposition off means to not have contact with a surface. If I say, I took my suitcase off the conveyor belt, I mean that the suitcase does not have physical contact with the conveyor belt anymore. When off becomes a verbal particle, the meaning changes to something more abstract. It can become like a metaphor. The meaning can be stretched. Let's imagine that a person or an object has contact with a surface. Then we separate them so that they do not have contact anymore. If we have physical contact with something and then we separate from it, we have the idea of stop. We've stopped having contact. Contact can also be metaphorical. A phrasal verb that shows this idea is to power off something. For example, if I power off my computer, it means that I stop the flow of power to my computer. I separate my computer from a source of energy. Separation is a metaphor for stopping something. This is one of the meanings of off when it's a verbal particle. Let's look at some examples. To call means to give the order for something, such as a meeting. For example, our boss called a meeting to discuss our latest project. To call plus off means to give an order to stop doing something. For example, our boss called off tomorrow's meeting because he's ill. To pay means to give money for goods or services. For example, I paid my electric bill last week. To pay off means to pay someone to stop doing something, usually in a corrupt way like bribery. For example, the company paid off its employees to keep them from talking about its illegal activities. To swear means to make a vow or to promise very sincerely to do something. For example, when he testified in court, he swore that he would tell the truth. To swear plus off means to make a vow to stop doing something. For example, James decided to swear off alcohol. To recap, when off is a preposition, it means to not have contact with a surface. When off is a verbal particle, one of its meanings is stopping. Thank you for listening. This is Christine from Difficult English Explained.